Hello, my beautiful tribe, and welcome to another Bedroom Guru with me, Nicky Allen. The first thing I have to do is do a big hello and send a load of smoochy woochy love to Canada. How could I miss Canada out? How naughty am I? So thank you for highlighting it, people. I spoke about the US, I spoke about the UK, missed out Europe as well. But Canada, how could I miss you out? It's one of my ticky boxes to come to your beautiful country. So hopefully, when my book sells 1 million copies, I will have the funds to travel over. You find me in my bedroom regalia. Bit different from my last video. I'm having an admin day in bed. Do you know Barbara Cartland? I feel like I'm writing all my books and writing all of my interviews and writing all of my blogs, sitting in here. All I need are chocolates at the side of me, don't I? And a nice fluffy scarf. So today, what am I going to talk about? Again, during this COVID situation, lots of people are suffering with their mental health or being faced with themselves. And I've just had to do, it's almost like a counselling session really for someone who's just totally lost and doesn't know what to do. And one of the things that's come up a lot, especially with me doing my interviews and the podcast and stuff about the book is how do you do this type of living? What is spiritual living all about? How do you do it? Well, as you know from all of my previous videos, if you've got the time and the patience and the madness to go through them all, it's all about mindfulness and positive thinking. So I'm not going to overwhelm you with all of that because I've already said about it. However, I did have a glimmer of inspiration when I was thinking about this morning. And I thought I'm going to share this with you. I may have mentioned it in an old video, but I'm going to bring it up again because I always steer myself with these 4 points. During my earth life, my spiritual awareness, my life, and I always, refer back to these 4 old traditions, funnily enough, TR. And if you are a student of mine that's watching this, you will smile with nostalgia because this was a very powerful experience that I had and I share it and it's part of my regime, if you like. And it's known as the 4 TRs. Now, I remember how it was brought to me. I was sitting in a bath in the summertime when I lived back in Thundersley in Essex, and I'd had this beautiful building built at the back of my garden, which was the Enigma Sanctuary, where I used to do all my healing, readings, circles and all sorts of wonderful things, my workshops. Absolutely lovely days they were. And what happened was that I wanted to know about guidance on how to live a spiritually inclined life, how to maintain and check in with myself to make sure I was doing okay. And funnily enough, the TRs is incorporated into the first session of my spiritual living course, Prism Living. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to mention this today. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but hey ho, for the new subscribers, you may not find it in the plethora of videos I've got. So I thought, you know what? I'll whack it in now as a new, fresh perspective and addition to my catalogue of videos. So the 4 TRs, I was in the bath and I literally just sent a thought out. Our thoughts are very loud in the universe, and especially if we maintain this high vibration and we regularly connect with the spirit world, the angel realms, we regularly meditate, then our thought process is a lot louder than grounded people. And so I didn't realise they'd heard my thought process as I was laying there. I adore water. I'm a water baby, as you may know. Scuba diving is my absolute passion. And I remember I was laying with just this little bit with the water completely encasing me, which is a perfect way to be in a spiritual environment, because water, as we know, or you may not know, is a conduit to the spirit world. It's like electricity and metal. It's just perfection to be in water. It's like a spiritual embodiment of the physical world, water. And I remember thinking, how do I keep myself in line spiritually? What do I need to do? What can I teach other people? What can I share to help them understand? And then I kind of went into a bit of a half sleep, half meditative state, and I found myself in this most idyllic, beautiful space. The only way I can describe it is, do you know the Elfin Kingdom in Lord of the Rings, where there's waterfalls and stunning mountains and mists and doves flying by and butterflies and dragonflies full of these fairy folk? It was just like that. It was formidable. And I thought, wow, this is beautiful. And I remember standing on this bridge that looked over this panoramic view of this most magnificent landscape. I was like in this fantasy world, but to me it was reality. It was just wonderful. And this man approached me, and I can only describe him as this is definitely like a Lord of the Rings trailer. Do you know Orlando Bloom, when he played the elf and he had that like V-shaped hair in a ponytail and he was like used his bow and arrow? He looked very much like him, like an elfin person. I couldn't believe it. I thought, well, this is a bit weird, but I went with it. And he walked up to me and he held this huge, beautiful, clear crystal. And as I looked at it, I could see, here it goes. I've been doing so many interviews, my throat is like, no more, no more. And I could see prisms of light. That is where I got the inspiration to call my course Prism Living, because of that. And that happened years ago, back in 2006, 2007. And he said, you must maintain the purity of this crystal and allow the light to come through. Right, okay. He said, if you maintain the state of what a clear crystal is like, then you will be always spiritually inclined. So I'm like, okay. And then he said, but there are 4 things for you to adhere to help you ascend. Okay. So he said, the first one is trust. Trust everything that happens in your life, that there is a reason for it. Trust everything we bring you if you are channeling us. And my God, that was huge. You know, because he was also talking about, you know, when you're channeling information from a spirit person or angel realm and you've got to pass it on and you doubt it. I did it yesterday in a blinking interview. I was doing this interview, as I said to you, with Brian, from Grief to Growth, and I knew that it was his daughter in the background, a photograph of his daughter. I knew that, and I had done no research on the man whatsoever, just in case anything came up. And I started talking about his daughter, and all I could see was S-H-A-N, like Shana, Shanas, and I didn't have the faith in myself to say it, and that was her name. Absolutely. Oh, does my head in. So no matter how long you do this for, no matter how confident you are, sometimes your ego says don't say it because you're going to say this in front of thousands of people. And I was such a plum because I was right. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So he said, trust, you have to trust. And this is very, very important when the crap hits the fan, okay? Like it did with me all those years ago. When negative things happen, bad thing happens, irritating things happen, we always look into us and go, why us? Why has it happened to me? What did I do wrong? Take that away for a start. There is a reason for why this has happened, and only the gift, that beautiful gift of hindsight, would allow you to look back and say, wow, that's why that happened. It was crap at the time, but look where I am now because of what happened. Very much like the ethos of the movie Sliding Doors. You know, what would have happened if that hadn't have happened, if she hadn't got on the train? You know what I mean? And so it's very much like when something tough happens to you, even if it's a loss, yes, we have to go through the human ailments, the human ecosystem of grieving, and we have to go through hell. But there's a reason for it. We learn a lesson from it. It strengthens us, or perhaps it allows us to realise that we should value the people that are here. Whatever comes to mind during the experience you have, you have to trust the universe will make it better. The universe will deliver what you deserve, and the universe is allowing this to happen to you because it's something you either agreed before you came down here, or it's something that's going to enhance your life. Something good will always come out of something negative. You just have to wait and be patient. Temperance is key. And no matter how you kick and scream, and no matter what happens in your life, you have to trust. And that's one of the things that when I look at things that go wrong, I think, where did it all go wrong? And I tick my 4 TRs off and I think, That's where I didn't trust. Okay, so you have to trust. Trust is the biggest thing. Taking that step off of that cliff, knowing that you're going to land, you know, that leap of faith, knowing you're going to land okay, is just something that you've got to try and adjust your mind and soul into believing. Whatever happens in your life, trust that you will land softly eventually. And there is a reason for everything, negative or positive. So that was the first TR. The second TR was truth. And wow, this is my truth. I'm resting, I'm going to be doing my work in my PJs, and I'm talking to you in my PJs. This is my truth. My truth is my situation. My truth is who I am as a person, with no barriers, no fronts. It's very much me owning who I am as a person. And also owning your truth is about owning what you feel about situations and people. So, you know, we like to people please. It's in our nature to want to be liked, isn't it? And for us to indeed do things for people to be liked, even if they're not healthy relationships, we do it out of lack of self-love. And so truth is finding your own truth, finding your own self-love and being comfortable in being who you are. So one of my truths, for instance, was owning the fact that I used to, you know, push myself to go to things and meet people and go to lunch and do this and do that. And the truth is that I didn't want to go. I was absolutely exhausted, but I didn't want to let them get down and didn't want to lose them as a friend. All right. And so I just lied all the time, pretending I was okay, lying that I wanted to do things. But now I say, I'm sorry, it's a bad day. But my truth has enabled me to attract truthful people to me. So I know exactly where I am with my friends. I know exactly where I am with my loved ones, because there is a truth instilled between me and them. So own your truth, own your boundaries, draw a line, and refuse to not step over it if it kind of, you know, contradicts your own truth about yourself. Fibbing, I'm okay, I'm all right. Why are you doing that? Reach out for help. No, I'm suffering, actually, I'm really struggling, I need help. What is the problem with that? But so many of us will not allow ourselves to go down that road through our own ego system. Own your truth. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm contented, I'm irritated, I'm not in love with you, I adore you. Whatever it is, own your truth, because that truth, as I say in the cliche, will set you free by you owning your truths and actually looking at the truth of your life and think, do you know what, I'm not happy with that, I've got to change it. Then that is you owning your truth. By living this facade, or pretending you're okay, or pretending you're in love, or pretending you love a job, or being the strength when really all you want to do is cry and curl up in a ball, where does that serve you apart from exhausting you, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically? By fibbing, by telling that lie about yourself. Be truthful. The third one is very much in line, he said, with truth, and it's transparency. And so to me, transparency is very close to kind of like the truth. However, transparency to me is that if someone speaks to me and asks for my opinion, then I will give them my transparent opinion. Okay, I don't hold anything in that I feel may upset someone. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say horrible things, but transparency is basically allowing yourself to be free of any ego, okay? So for me, my transparency is, again, the same as me owning my truth, me sitting here without any makeup. I haven't even cleaned my teeth yet. No, I haven't done anything, I haven't brushed my hair. But you know what? This is me. I am transparently showing you who I am. Likewise, what he was also saying, Orlando Bloom, was transparency needs to be achieved within our soul energy. So I'm like, what does that mean? For us to be divinely guided, for us to receive inspiration, thought processes, guidance, advice from a higher power, we need to clear everything out of our chakra systems and our kundalini line, which is like the snake, it's a long thing, I don't want to go too deep on that. So let's just do it simply. If we are full up with fear, doubt, thoughts, projections, crap that really doesn't serve us, We are so full of all of this grounded crap in our human ego, we have no room for the chakra, the crown chakra, to bring in divine inspiration. The odd idea, contact that person and then you get a new job, or go and do this and you meet someone when you go out, whatever it is that they bring to inspire you, to bring you on to the next level of your experience on the earth plane. They fight past all of the fear, doubt, ego, depression, happiness, ignorance, arrogance, whatever the ego's trait system is writhing through your body. They have to fight through that to get to you. And if they have to fight through it, they don't bother, because what's the point? You're not going to get the message. So this is where the mindfulness comes in. This is how you work your transparency. You acknowledge your thoughts and feelings that are invading your subconscious, your psyche. You write them out. If I have anything that's in my head before I go to sleep, I think, you know what, I'm not going to go to sleep with this thought process, and I write it out. Then you find the answers to your own problems when you're writing it out, or it's a cathartic time you're devoting to your own self-love, and then you think, I'm done now, I've got rid of it and I've put it on paper. I then bless it and say, whatever angel is relevant for whatever problem or thought process I have in my head, take this away because I want to maintain transparency. See, that's how easy it is. You know, worries about, God, am I going to pass that exam? And I'm going to pass my test? God, shall I divorce them? God, shall I take this job? All of this crap, again, write it out, get rid of it, or hand it over to the angel that will deal with that particular aspect of your life. Okay, Google's a wonderful thing, darlings. You don't have to be an angel expert. Just Google Archangel 4 and write in whatever problem it is, and bang, you'll get your archangel. Okay, so it's trying to keep a transparency within your soul so that you can receive divine intervention, divine inspiration. You can get dream state visitation. You can open yourself up to a whole world of higher power without any effort at all, apart from making sure you shift all the crap and the sludge out of that barrel so that the barrel can be filled with divine inspiration, love, guidance and communication. It's the number one thing you have to do. You know, even if you're a working medium, for instance, and you think, right, I've got to do this reading, but then something's budging in, like, oh God, the dog's limping, or oh God, I wonder if she's going to do all right in that exam, or God, I need to go and get the shopping. All these things are just ego things and things in your thought process. So if you're going to do a reading, if you're going to do a meditation, think about what's on your mind. Imagine it going off into a cloud and it's disappearing, because it doesn't belong or deserve to be in your body, your mind, your soul, your psyche, because it really doesn't serve anything apart from worry and put stress on you. Or indeed write the list out of what you need to do that day. Sometimes I do it if I've got loads of things to do. Rather than think I've got to do this, got to do that, I write it out, and it's almost like you transfer the energy into that list on the page. That's how I deal with transparency. So Orlando Bloom, as I'm going to call him, then said, if you adhere to these first 3 TRs, you will always reach the 4th TR. And I was like, okay. And he said, you will reach transition. So I said, okay. So he said, when you ever get stuck with a spiritual or an earth dilemma, look at what TR you did not aspire to. For if you do remain conscious of running those TRs regularly and making sure they're all checked and they're all fluid, you will reach nothing but transition, which means that you will move on to the next phase of your life, your next phase of spiritual learning, your next phase of your physical life, if you're moving, if you're getting married, whatever's happening, having a baby. So to keep fluid movement of your soul and your mind, be mindful to tick off those 3 TRs. So any situation that is brought to you, any person that's brought to you, anything that's like got you pulling your hair out, look and see why it's happened. And if it's happened, just trust it. If you're trusting the process and there's still things wrong, see where possibly you've gone wrong. See where you've gone wrong with the other 3 TRs, and you'll go, that was it. I fibbed to them. I said it'd be okay, and I've let them in, and they're taking the mickey out of me now. Can you see what I mean? So look closely into any given situation and see if it's changeable, change it, and if it's not, accept it. Again, the Serenity Prayer holds such a powerful source of advice, doesn't it? Accept what you can, change the things that you can. Do you know what I mean? There's a full prayer, but I'm not going to do it. And the wisdom to know the difference. Accept the things you can change and things you can't. And that's all part of it. Serenity prayer, it's one of my favourite prayers in the world. It's so perfect and so simple in its essence. And that's it, really. So these 3 TRs, look into every situation. If it was a past situation, see possibly where you may have gone wrong, and rectify it. Be brave in rectifying it, and show your own powerful strength and your own personal strength by rectifying it and dealing with it. Because if you do adhere to these 3, you will always transit. You will always move forward to where you're supposed to go, perhaps even quicker if you deal with it quicker. Our fear stops us a lot though, doesn't it? Our projections, our what ifs, and what do they think, and what, all of that. We just allow it to stop us from moving forward. Get rid of the ego, embrace that higher power, and live with it every day. And when you do that, nothing will be a problem ever again, I promise you. Anyway, I thought I would just give you that little bit of inspiration in between my admin stuff. I can hear Teddy sniffing, so no doubt he wants his breakfast. And thank you all again for your wonderful comments. Please like, share, subscribe, and also comment on what you think about this spiritual philosophy that I've sent with you today. I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and most of all, thank you for watching. And I shall speak to you very soon. Who knows, I might even have makeup on next time. The intrigue. God bless you all. I'll speak to you soon.